Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Bruce and Ellen, and we're here to talk today about rewiring your mind out of struggle. And I'd like to start with something. Now, some time ago, I was to a landmark forum, and in the forum, they had done some studies, and we had windows in our life where pivotal things could happen. One would be somewhere on the age 6 or 7. Another window was age 12 to 13, and a third window was 20 to 21. And I liken it to be like something that happened in your life at that time. It could be positive or could be negative, but as soon as you think about it, it's like a movie playing in your mind. And I think we want to talk about that today, especially if it's negative, some way to rewind that and rewire that, I should say, rewire that. So Ellen, can you take it away?
Yeah, so I'm glad that you started like that, Bruce, because it's definitely, like as you were speaking, the first thing that came to mind was I went back to the time when I was 6 years old, and I remember when my mom left us at my grandmother's house, and how my life changed. So I felt abandoned, and so the question that I have for you is how many of you at that time can recall a major thing that happened in your life that in one way or another is still affecting you today? And that's something that sometimes I'm still working through it. You know, life is about an ongoing journey where we work with ourselves all the time. So even though that I have worked with the issues of abandonment, sometimes they come up. And so that's one thing. Another thing that happened to me that I can remember at that time was that I was sexually molested by an adult, a neighbor, and that's that also made an impact in my life as well. And in a way that, as a parent, I make sure that I told my children, with boys and girls, to be very careful of adults that they don't know, or that especially those that they knew. So, those are things that stayed in my mind on that time when I was a 6 year old. And then when you talk about being a teenager, 12 and 13, at that point, my mom went back home and picked us up from my grandmother. I started living with her and getting to know her. At that time, that was so shocking too, because even though that was my mother and we had been corresponding by mail, I really didn't know her. She didn't know me, and it was a different way of living. And also between that time and 15, I moved to the United States. That was a shock for me. With different culture, different language, a lot of stuff going on. So that definitely made an impact in myself. At that point, I remember that I became a shy person. I don't remember being a shy person before that, but because that was so impactful in my life, I became a different person. I became more introvert than extrovert. And also, by the time I turned 20, between the 20 and 21. I was in college, raising two small children. I was married with a husband, a house, a lot of stuff in my plate that I was dealing with, and at the same time trying to get an education. So I can recall those things, and whether like I can say they were negative things that happened in my life or positive things that happened in my life. But what I do know today is that it's about the perception, okay, the perception that we had of those moments in our lives. As children, and then as adults, we perceive those as negative, but then as you study yourself and as you go within, as I have many times I say, is that once you recognize what had happened to you, you realize, at least for me, that those events in my life have made the person that I am today. Yet it took some time for me to work through it, because at some point they were bringing the negative side in my life, because I was just thinking of, I was playing the negativity of it. I was playing being abandoned, so I was a victim all the time. I was a victim. I was left alone. When I was someone who tried to sexually assault me, I was always on the lookout. I didn't trust anybody. Trust issues. I had trust issues. So you see, those are negative things that impacted in my life. Yet, in a positive turn of it is that it allowed me to have something to work on and become a better person, a stronger person. My character is, I have the character that I have because of the things that I have experienced in life. So what I invite you to do is to go within and go to those times in your life when you were between 6 and 7 years old. What happened in your life? How has impacted your life? And due to those situations or those life events that happen in your life, what is manifesting in your life? Are you still playing the victim? Are you still playing? What is it that is playing out? What's happening in your life, or what has happened in your life? Okay, so those are the questions that I want you to ask yourself. But very careful, go through those times in your life when you in the age of 6 and 7, 12 and 13, 20 and 21, around that ballpark of age. Try to think about what happened to you and how that has affected your life. And I can promise you that some of the struggles that you're having in your life has a lot to do with those times that happen in your life. And when I was first becoming aware of this, I didn't know, just like many of you. And that becoming aware of it and realizing that it really has changed my life, has really rewired the way I think, the way I see life, the way I perceive situations, and how I solve them.
Ellen, one of the things that helped me out thinking about how to analyze this, it's like having a pair of glasses on. I can have a pair of glasses that are clear. I can have a pair of glasses that are sunglasses that are dark. And we're all seeing somewhat the same world, but through our own glasses. And I guess what it would say is, maybe you can help our listeners out, is if they're looking through their glasses or their sunglasses, something like that, and maybe they see negative things coming back to them, maybe that's a good example that they're not seeing the clear picture in their life because their glasses, so we shall we say, are colored by their experiences. Could you talk to that a little bit?
Oh yes, that's a beautiful way of putting it too. So that's another way of looking at it, right? So we say, depending on the pair of glasses that you wear, if you have a different perception. So let's say if you have reading glasses, if the reading glasses that you're wearing are too high, or let's say that you don't use any reading glasses and you put some reading glasses on, it's gonna be blurry. It's not gonna be clear. And if you use glasses and you use glasses that the medication is higher than what you need, you might get a headache. Okay, and so you're not gonna be able to concentrate and to focus on what you need to do. So wearing glasses is another way of saying the perception, how you looking at situations. Are you looking at it from the positive way or from the negative way? And I like to say that every situation has both, has positive and negative. The question is, which one are you focusing on? Okay, so because most of the times what we do, we have been trained to think only of the negative and focus on the negativity of the problem. And just like I mentioned before, we have to, when we have a problem, we cannot be at the same level of the problem. We have to find a way to go a little notch and look at the problem from above and try to solve the problem. Because otherwise, if we stay in that negativity and we only looking at the negative part of the problem, it's very hard for you to find yourself finding a solution for that problem. Or you might, and that's when you feel the struggle or the stress in your life, because you keep trying to fix the problem from the same mentality, from the same level of mindfulness, or the same understanding. And so that's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a coach, a friend, someone that you can talk to that is able to see the problem out, to see the problem above, or better, sometimes I say outside the box. The person is not in the problem, so they're able to see things that you not might be able to see in the problem. A lot of times we have struggles because we set them up. And I know most of us might say, no, Ellen, how can you dare say that? I will never set up a struggle for my life. Unconsciously we do it. It's not something that we consciously go and say, this is what I'm going to do. No, that's not what we do. It's unconsciously, and that has a lot to do with what happened to us, those events that we spoke about before. Okay, those events that keep coming up in a different way, but they're still showing up, and until you don't become aware of them, they will continue to show up, and they will continue to make life more a struggle. Okay, so what we're going to do at the end of this is that we're going to ask you to email us or make a comment saying, I would like to have the questionnaires that you have to help us. I have 5 key questions. And the way I do it is that it's a strategy that I use to help you go within and find a way to uncover those things that need to be released so you can actually find solutions to your struggles, to your problems. Okay, it's really about looking at the problems from with different sets of glasses. That's what really it's about. And I can promise you that it really is about that. When you look at the problem with different set of glasses, you will no longer feel like you are struggling. Yes, you will have challenges in life. I'm not saying that you're not going to have challenges in your life, because just like a dear friend of mine said, if we didn't have challenges in our life that allow us to grow, there's no reason for us to be here then. Because honestly, if we don't have challenges in life that help us grow, we honestly not gonna feel the sense of needing to grow. Yet that's a good thing, if you look at it like that. So that's what I have to say to you. But going back to the email me so I can send you the 5 key questions. And the way I'm going to do it is that I do it in a reflective way that you can go within and take action at that moment and journal about it and find things about you that you don't even know that were there.
Ellen, I know we're getting close to the end, but I think this question is a little bit too important to end short. Let's just say that as the young girl you were picked on by the neighbor guy, and you never fixed it. Okay, you never got in touch with it. That could be still with you in your back of your mind, and either allowed you not to have good relationships, or maybe put you always in bad relationships. Either one of those two, and you're the victim, but you think, well, this is all I deserve in life. Would that be sort of true?
Yes, yes, because I can say, it has 2 ways, negative and positive. Positive, that's just how life is. We have both things. So because I have worked on it and I have a clear understanding and a perception of what happened, the good one, I if I had not worked through it, I would have a lot of trust issues. I won't trust anybody. I will be very weary with strangers. I will not want to go to places that I don't know people. There's a lot of stuff that I could have done. Or I could have become someone that doesn't love myself or have respect for myself. Okay. That happens a lot with people, whether it's men or females that have been sexually assaulted. They don't have no self-worth. They don't know if they really are worth more and if they deserve more. Those are the things. Those are the residuals of that type of incidents that bring those type of incidents. So I would say, because I work through those things, I don't have trust issues. I don't have trust issues. I don't have. I trust people. I don't have no fear of going to strangers, speaking to strangers. I value myself. I have self-worth. And I have, more than anything, I have love for everyone. And I think it can only happen because I have been healed. I'm healed. And I have nothing inside of me that will obstruct me trusting other people and loving other people.
I think that's a great place to end today, and I think for our listeners out here that I think the love comes through, and I think they should send you an email and get your questionnaire and let your love help them as well. So
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
we appreciate you being here. I got a smile out of Ellen. How about that? You know, hit a home. I think I hit a home run with that little topic right there. But she's got a lot of love. She wants to share it with you and everybody else. So we will be back next Monday to share some of Ellen's love. Bye bye.
Yes. Take care.